Hi everyone, it's Scrappy Kathy here with a scary, messy edition of Mixed Media Frenzy. And this week we are all taking on the scary proposition and fun, of course, of lifting the amazing Julie Taylor in a creative team page that she did for Hey Little Magpie. And it's just adorable. There's this mixed media stuff going on here, and then these paper sunbursts and all of the little stars and other embellishments. It looks like either stamped or doodled arrows. I'm going to doodle mine because I couldn't find a stamp that had those. I've pulled out a whole bunch of stamp sets, and I'm using papers from my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit that's built of all different releases of excuse me, mine the scrap kits, and I'll show you those papers in a minute. I absolutely love this color scheme, and one day I'll do that, but my photo is one that just came up in memories almost 2 years ago to the day. This photo was taken of Ava was in the hospital with chemo, and she was at the stage where she was losing her hair, and all of these organizations come into the children's hospital and give them hat and wig options, and there are all kinds of organizations that donate and help with these. And so she was trying on a hat, and they had brought a wig for her that kind of closely matched her hair, and her dad put the wig on. She was eschewing anything to do with any of this stuff. She just wore it like it was. As the chunks of hair fell out, she kept on keeping on. And she later kind of picked up the whole beanie thing. They brought her in some really cute beanies. And then these days she's basically done. I don't know if they call her cancer-free, but she's on maintenance chemo. And this last round of maintenance, she had gotten her hair back, and this last round of maintenance chemo caused all her hair to fall out again. So instead of going back to beanies, she's doing making the fashion statement of wearing hoodies with the hood up. And even though it's getting up to 90 degrees here in Georgia, she's still wearing those hoodies. And she's asked if they would let her. We're getting ready to go on vacation in June. She's asked if we think that they'd let her wear a hoodie into the pool. So yeah, if you want to drown, because once that thing soaks up water, you're at the bottom, baby. But anyway, she was kind of faking this smile, but it's very characteristic of her sweet, wonderful smile that we don't see as often as we'd like these days. But anyway, love this girl so much, and you all know that because she stars in so many of my pages. Anyway, the load prompt for today, which I'm going to use, is to do with busy day. And in those days, for the entire year of 2019, we were busy first trying to figure out what it was that was causing the pains that she was having in her arms and legs. And she had every diagnosis except leukemia. And then once the leukemia diagnosis came, everything for every member of the family was kind of to do with her and her treatments and making her comfortable when she came home and all of that. And so we thought 2019 was the horrible year. 2020 was going to be wonderful. And then, COVID, and then 2021 comes and she's, you know, she loses her hair with this maintenance treatment just as she's getting ready to finish it all together. And it played a tune on her energy levels as well. And that kind of, and in the middle of the school year, a school year that's difficult because it's distance learning, all of it kind of combined to make it kind of difficult. And then, you know, her grandfather passing away, you know, hit her in that she's young enough and has seen so little tragedy like that. She didn't know how to react, and so, you know, that's been difficult. But anyway, this photo brought back a happy, funny memory. All of the hospital equipment is in the background, and I left it there intentionally. I could have cropped it out. It shows that she's in bed. It shows that her dad is not afraid to make a fool of himself. They ask a nurse to take the picture, and Ava's got her little hands kind of under her chin posing there. This is very precious, and it kind of highlights the relationship between the two of them, although, you know, that changes from hour to hour sometimes. So anyway, I've got a bunch of stuff here. Let me kind of show you what I've got. Anyway, this photo determined my color scheme. I'm going with oranges and yellows and this bright red color here, which is in this matte, and I'll kind of show you where I got those papers. I've got a ton of stamp sets, and I don't know if I'm going to use them all. Looks like I have 4 stamp sets there. Okay, the foundation of it all is going to be Foundations Mixed Media Paper by Vicki Boutin. But where I got all the stuff, the butterflies you've seen me use before. I cut just one out of right here, and I'm going to have all these warm colors with a lot of black accents to kind of downplay the pinks and blues, which are not anywhere on my layout. I doodled around all of the spots on the butterfly and just made it kind of more about black. To me, it made the bright orangey yellow color stand out more so than the others. So that was my purpose. I have no idea whether that worked or not, but I'm doodling on other stuff, so I thought, why not? So this is Amy Tangerine Brave and Bold, is where that came from. This is Heidi Swapp's Old School, and it's from a couple months ago in Mind the Scrap Kit, and I chose it for this kind of the gold side, and I trimmed the 2-inch strip off of this side so that I can still use this part. I love that, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but it's coming up. This is Cocoa Vanilla Daydream Sun Shower, and I used this kind of wood grain look almost because it just has a pretty goldish yellow in it. And this is just from my stash. I have no idea what it is, but it's embossed, and in some of the areas it's got a finish on it, a shiny finish, and it's got, it's kind of a corally red, which I thought was, I didn't necessarily want a crimson red because of some other stuff that's going on. And this is from Paige Evans Wonders, and it's this side of it is an ombre orange, and I tried to get both sides of the ombre. I love this side, and that's probably the side I'll use next. Okay, I have pulled out a, well, off camera, let me just do this so that I can put the stuff away. I did these Sunbursts, and what I did was I cut 2-inch strips of the papers, and then I made these very rough kind of triangle-y shapes, and without regard necessarily to, you know, where they were going to go or how long they were going to be or anything like that. So I folded them not quite exactly down the middle, and then I doodled on them in the fold where it was difficult to do a straight line because I wanted it to kind of look like this. And then that reminded me of barbed wire when I did that. So I remembered the barbed wire die from Bramble Fox, so I die cut a few of those. Don't know whether I'm going to use them. I die cut, she's got arrows around there. I die cut some arrows out of the papers I'm using, but I'll kind of show you my process on this one. So I cut, this was a 2-inch strip. I just kind of put it in my trimmer and trimmed down that line. So the next thing I did was distress that, and I really don't want to get that on my paper, so I'm going to kind of back over here. I actually changed clothes because these little paper crumbs were sticking to my my shirt I was wearing. So right after I'm done with this video, I'm heading to the pool for some exercise. And I've got my cover up on. So I kind of grizzle the edges and then just kind of fold it kind of free form. This one's a little bit closer to in half than I did some of the others. And then I just kind of drew a line, and it's kind of naturally goes wiggly here. And so I let it go, and if there's a big one like this, I make something like that in it. If it comes close together, I do that. And I just kind of did some free form, what I call barbed wire stitching. And Julie's, I'm sure, is real stitching, and God bless her for doing that. I'm not, my sewing machine's not working. It would probably, if I tried to actually sew a dress or anything, it would probably make stitches like this on its own, so I possibly should have used it. Okay, so those are going to be my sunbursts. Let me put those aside and get started on the background. I'm going to get all the things that could be damaged by, could be harmed in the making of mixed media. And I'm going to try something. On all of these mixed media videos, you may remember or know that, or can tell that I don't know what I'm doing. And so every week I try. This group has been incredible for me because when we pick these layouts, we pick them because, oh, wow, that looks cool. And without any thought to, am I really going to be able to do this? And so this one just, and I feel that way about most of Julie's. I study Julie's layouts trying to figure out, you know, what the heck she probably did. And so I try, every week I try something different that I've never done before. And so here we go. Here we go. So I'm going to start with something fairly simple. I have picked mustard seed, barn door, and spiced marmalade distress oxides. And I'm gonna kind of rub them on here, somewhat overlapping, just to get a mix of the colors in what I'm fixing to do. Let me find a piece of packaging. So that's and that came straight out of the trash. So so much for my excellent planning around these things. Okay, I'm just spritzing it, and this is going to be my base. And I'm letting it splash all over. I'm kind of doing it can you see that? Let me get this over here where you can see it. So I'm just kind of doing these things, and I'm letting some of these lines be, you know, kind of show. And I'm doing it all the way from the top to the bottom, but kind of over on one side. Now, I'm going to kind of put this aside, back in the trash where it belongs, I guess. And I'm going to get, what am I going to get next? I did not bring a paintbrush to the table, and when I last washed my, well, here's this one. This one can maybe pick up some of this, and I can do really light spritzes around. And I absolutely love the way the colors are mixing and the way there are some outlines around there, but I don't think I'm finished. Applying color yet. I'm going to get a shimmery Diane Reevely shimmer sprays in Pure Sunshine, which is an orangey yellow and tangerine green. So let me, and if I get these in there while the oxides are wet, they'll kind of move around and create shimmery splotches in the middle of the red, or in the middle of the wet part. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Oh my gosh, I just love, let me bring this up close. I love all of the movement that's going on, and I like these kind of straight lines. I'll have to see if I can use that in my in the layout. So that was the orange. This is the Pure Sunshine. Ooh, nice big splotch right there. Whoops, that was kind of unfortunate right there, but I'll try to do something similar up here so it looks like it was intentional. Okay, so now that I've done that, I kind of want to go and see if I can spread out some of the shimmer. I found some spots where the shimmer is pretty active, and I don't like that, actually. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to splatters. I didn't like that at all. I thought maybe if I spread out the shimmer, it would just be a little different. So there's an example of how it, you know, the shimmery ink kind of moves around on there. Okay, so I'm going to roll this up and put it aside, and I'll take it to the kitchen later to clean it up because I don't have my cleaner guy. I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to try to build the, oh my goodness, I got some. Do I want to take those off? When I opened this, some of the crustiness around there came off. So I'm going to tweeze that off. I could leave it on and call it, you know, part of the mixed media design, but I don't like it. So if I liked it, I would call it a happy accident, but as it is, it was kind of an unhappy accident. I love how the yellow and orange are kind of mixing together there. So happy with this. Let me put it aside to dry a little bit. I probably will when, it won't be completely dry when I'm ready to work with it, but I will, I'll roll some paper towel over it, and that will make the shiny parts shinier. Now, what I'm having trouble figuring out here is how I'm just kind of placing these things. I want this orange one to be in the middle. I need to know that it's not going to exceed 12 by 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So as long as it kind of fits in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. Okay, so as long as it kind of fits over in this corner. So let me do this. That's kind of long. That needs to be shorter. That needs to be shorter. And then I can go with this kind of there, and I'm still a little bit, let me do that. I'm going to have to do this on the page, I think, because, okay, this is not going to work doing my cluster because these are all random lengths, and I kind of did that. I shot myself in the foot doing it that way. Okay, let's pull the paper towel. I think this is dry enough. It's got enough of the movement that I would want to keep it wet for. So doing this actually will make the shimmery stuff more shimmery. It removed, ooh, and it left that. That's kind of cool right there. And it left me some cute stains on my paper towel. Okay. So, even though that's not dry, I'm gonna actually decide where to put my photo. I want this to show, so I think I'm gonna do the photo like this, and then run, and I'm gonna have to cut these rays down. Okay, I'll put some tape on there, but I'm also gonna do some liquid adhesive because it'll need that to stick. And I've put the foam, in case you hadn't seen that, I used layers of some of the papers that I used in the sun rays, and I added that red paper in just for the color, and I did 2 layers of foam, and I put it inside so that I could squish those arrows in there, but like I said, I wasn't doing a great job of planning. And I used a couple of stamps from some stamp paper that I had cut up for a different layout. Okay, so that's down. Now let's see. These are going to be my longest. Like I said, I don't want to completely cover that up. So her arrows are coming out this way. I'm going to do mine that way as well. And this is the center one. So I'm going to cut it off at the tape. And let it be there, and then I'll have the others on either side. So I think that's gonna work. I put, after I bent these, and I didn't do it on that one I showed you, so I'll have to add that now. And I'll put it up close to the top in case I have to. And I'm still gonna fold it, and that tape is it'll stick to the middle, and it'll press down onto it when I put it into an album, but that's okay. All right, so we're gonna do this, just kind of scooch it under there. And then these won't look like they're just kind of sticking out of nowhere once I put this in. I think this one goes here because it's because of the shape. I think that would be more appropriate there. And then this one can go up here. And then the rest of it's going to be so much fun, just kind of putting little cute things all around. Okay, I'm going to start with the center one. And she had hers looking like they were actually kind of extensions, but not quite. So I'm not going to like get really too upset if mine don't look like they're exactly across from one another. So I'm going to make these kind of slant down further than if they were straight across, if that makes any sense at all. But I'm going to kind of have them on the same side. This one needs to be cut quite a bit shorter. Maybe even shorter than that. And maybe even shorter than that. Because I don't want it to hit the end of the page. I have to cut it off. Okay, so there, let me kind of scooch it under. There we go. Now, this one also, I don't want to lose all my cute barbed wire, right? See, I could almost use this as another piece. Okay. So I'm definitely off kilter as far as the likeness of the rays. So let's see if our embellishments can kind of help us out here. One thing I want to do is maybe stick some of these guys in here. I definitely want to, she's got these numbers, this kind of strip of die cut numbers. I'm going to use my film strip cut file from Christina at Creative Cuts. And I'm gonna just, I think that this mixed media is gonna look really beautiful behind that. It does. I'm hoping it doesn't look too Halloweenish with the black and orange. Okay, and let me do another piece, and I can still salvage a piece for another layout. I've really been portioning that out because to me, a film strip, since your layouts have to do with photographs, a film strip could be on any and all layouts. Let me make sure I get it. I do want this to look like a single line. Okay, there. Now, I have some Obed Marshall stars. I fussy cut a little heart out of some Vicki Boutin a branding strip. I've got these little kind of crystal dots. There is in the original, there's a star right here, but it would cover that up. So I'm going to put the star. I've done a star, and I have it, I doodled around it because I was doodling, around a lot of stuff. So I'm going to do this. You know what? The star needs to be distressed. If I put this clean cut paper, undistressed paper, next to a piece that's all distressed and folded, to me, that would bother me. I don't know if it would bother you. And it possibly, and I know I've done it. I've done something like that before. I haven't. When I distress, I don't necessarily distress everything on the page. But mixed media layouts, kind of in my, how I look at them. Okay, there. I want to show that it's a star, and I want to use this black and white flare. It's from a travel set, and it said travel on the flare, but I covered it up with a little phrase sticker from a totally unrelated collection, Daydream by Coco Vanilla. So it's just one of these, and it's in a little kind of typewriter font, and I think it's appropriate for that. And I may put, let's see, I want to put the butterfly maybe down at this corner, and it's got one piece of foam tape on it. In order to get where it can overlap that photo, I'm going to have to put another piece of foam tape there, and then we can start with the stamping fun. I just absolutely love all of this. Now, Julie usually in her mixed media layouts, well, that's covering too much, right? I'm going to push it over a little bit. Now it's covering my film strip, but that somehow seems okay. She usually will, or I have seen, not usually, but she sometimes has outlined her splotches, and I love that look. So I'm going to find some splotches, just random splotches around, fairly small ones that I can outline. I may not do a lot of them because I I want to leave the big ones with their own outlines, but just a little tiny touch like that. I'm going to do, I definitely want this barbed wire as an element, so I'm going to put it in, I'm not going to try to put it in between all of the little rays here, but I need a short piece there. Maybe on the outsides. Let's see if I can make sure that gets burnished so that it stays down. And it's not staying down. I know I have enough glue on there, I'm just not burnishing the right thing. So I'm lifting the photo. Oh, okay, it's underneath this. It's underneath this. So I don't mind if it kind of raises up like that. I actually kind of like that. And let me use this other small piece, and I've got a couple bits that I can use. See, it doesn't, I don't need one down here because I've got the film strip. I think I'll save these for another layout. And I'm going to use my very first stamp. Well, actually, I'm going to use this as my first stamp. It is from the Brave and Bold set, and it's a calendar, and you can circle the month and the day and write the year. So that allows you to do some journaling without thinking a whole lot about it. And I'm not going to do a lot of journaling on the front of this. I will write a 2021 update of this, you know, kind of 2 years down the road. I didn't think that was in the photo. As you can see, I doodled around the photo. So I want to do this maybe right there. And if it doesn't come out perfect, which it kind of did, and the mixed media shows through it, that's just absolutely awesome. So I'll do the circling and the dating of that later. But now let me put this flare, this black and white flare. It may actually be navy blue. As I put it there, it looks navy blue. And you know what? I'm not going to care, because in the midst of all the other stuff that's going on, I think it's just fine. I'm going to put this one here, and then I can place some other things around it. I've got this yellow arrow that I could stick kind of right like this, bridging over from the flare onto the photo. I've got this little yellow star, which could go kind of down here. Now it's got some kind of birthday sprinkles kind of pattern in there with a few of the same colors that are in the butterfly, but I'm okay with that. This one is just an orange polka dot star, and it just looks perfect there. This one is pink, and it's the it's pink, and pink doesn't go with anything else on here, which is why I wanted to use it. It's just kind of an unexpected accent, as is this little pink and orange heart, overlapping heart thing. And I always put overlapping hearts on my pages, and so Vicki Boutin did a cute one for me. Where can I put that? I can put that actually on this flare. Okay, there's enough glue on there to make that work. And I've got this little stamp. Oh, I need room for the title, don't I? The title is going to be Amazing Smile. And so I've chosen this amazing partly because I love the font and the size, but it's a cool metallic kind of look. It's a perspective from Bramble Fox, and it's cool in the midst of all this these warm colors going on. So I'm going to have it overlap the calendar there, but I am going to write the and it was May, and I'll have to look up what the actual date was. So I'm going to do amazing, and then the word smile I'm going to do with this alpha from Amy Tangerine. It came in a Mind the Scrap kit, and I love this orange part of it. I'm hoping that I can get these out. I should have pulled these out off camera and didn't. So that'll be my S. This will be my M. Sorry about this. And I pulled these out. I did slit the sleeves, M, and I and L should be on the same one, and then E. So of course I'm going to need 4 sheets for 5 letters. And I'm going to tell myself I'm not going to be too terribly bothered by the fact that the orange and yellow on here may somewhat clash with that butterfly. I kind of tested it up against the butterfly and wasn't crazy about it. So I was planning maybe on putting it farther away from the butterfly, but as you can see, I didn't. So let's go with smile. And these are just some of the goofy thought processes. They're clear stickers, so the color really doesn't clash with that at all. I was hoping that might be the case, but it might have been nice to test it ahead of time before I messed up my layout, but you know me, that's not gonna happen. And I'm gonna try to get that exactly where I want it so that it's lined up. Come on. I have trouble handling these clear stickers like this with my fingers, so I use tweezers, and then the tweezers don't always hold them in the right shape that you'd like them to stay in. Okay, I'm liking how that's looking. I love these kinds of letters, not necessarily for doing things on camera, because I do the kind of live action videos. There's some things that aren't necessarily appropriate for live action. Okay, now I'm going to put the arrows on. I'll do this. I should have cut one of these also out of foam, because then I could raise it up. But it doesn't matter if some things are, it actually helps with the dimension on other things if some of your elements are flat on the page. It makes the others look like they're standing up even more. So here's an orange arrow, and I can maybe point this in right here. Okay, and then I've got this red one, and it could go maybe right out there. I don't mind having the arrows look like they're exploding from the field, if you will. Okay, now this little stamp is also from the what set? The Brave and Bold set. It's this one up here, and I like it because it's simple, and I can just put a little black accent wherever I want, if I can find my black ink pad. I like the kind of silvery champagne sort of look there. So here I'm somewhat, okay, that's not working. That didn't work because I have the dimensional elements on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it way up here, way up top, ink it again, and kind of do it this way. Okay, so it didn't, okay, it's messy, which is mixed media, right? So I'm fine with that. And I'm going to do one this way. And here again, I've got that star that's really stuck on there. And I've got this. I'm going to peel that up. Got that. And now I'll put this back. Lesson about planning ahead and knowing what things to do first. So stamping should have been done first. Particularly as I look at, I had a stamp that I wanted to use. Okay, so I've got one there, one there, one there. Let's do one kind of along this edge here. And I kind of like that, actually. Okay, so I'm going to pull this back, put it over there, and clean it later. In this set, this is an Altenew set called Trendy Circles. No idea where or when I got it. I'm thinking it might have been in a kit from someone, but I don't know whom. This says, "Be happy, be bright, be you." And I thought maybe I could stamp that somewhere, maybe right down here. So I'm going to again remove the orange flare. So that I can get this there. This I think I'm going to test. Okay, it seems to be coming out if I ink it that way. So let me do, that is going to get in the way. So I'm going to change where I place it up at the top here so that I don't have as wide and I'll try to line it up straight, but that's not going to happen. We know that. Okay, it works, and it's just exactly that little touch that I kind of wanted. And I've got some glue leaking out from under the paper star there. I maybe should have popped that up on some stuff. Okay, and I've got a very fine line stamp here. This is Workshop by Kaisercraft, and I saw this on someone's layout one time and decided to order it primarily for this, which looks like the wiring on a motherboard for a computer. And John used to do that, so I've used it on a couple pages about him. And let me see. But what I want to use here is something maybe right there. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mixed media stamp it. I hate covering that up, but if I do it right, and that's a big if, let me get this. I'll cover up my glue so it actually flows the next time I try to use it. Where's my black ink pad? It's here. I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna just maybe partially put it down, let it run over off the page. Okay, I like that. I like it. It got on my mat, and that's fine. I like that. Now it seems like I should use that sort of image maybe on this side, maybe sneaking right out of there. And I can, let's do it this way. And then I'm gonna do it this way so that I can control where it stops and it doesn't go down to what the words I've stamped. There, okay? That worked. And now I'm just wanting to go crazy doing these kinds of images elsewhere, like right here where it's a little white. Maybe there. And I'm not crazy about that, so I'm going to do something around that, I think. So let me put this up. I'm not happy with what I just did. So what are we going to do here? I've got this. Well, first of all, I've got this little one that says love, and I want to use that. This goes here with the alternate. I've got to be sure I'm keeping my stamp sets whole there. Okay, love. Where do I want to put love? Maybe directly on the photo, like right there. Don't have a good bed for that, so that's not going to happen. I'm going to do it right here. Okay, that's cute. Okay, there. And now I'm going to take some of these images. Let me get that wiped off and put it back. I love this stamp set. It is Studio Light Exclusive Textures. Art by Marlene is the artist. Okay, I've got that there. Where's the, I kind of like, here. There's this one that's kind of a crosshatch pattern that I can use, kind of overlapping that. And I can use it down here, and I can use it there, and I can use it maybe right here. Just kind of put it around so that it's not obvious that I'm fixing that. Now I'm going to use another one in pretty much the same way. And the beauty of mixed media is that you can keep stamping things on or spraying things on, or whatever, however you want to apply things. I like the plus signs, but they're kind of large. I'm gonna go with these. Well, look, I like the squigglies, that one. It knew I wanted it. I've used it on a couple layouts already, but and it can go right there and right here under the word smile, and it can go up here, kind of off the page. Do that. I would have preferred it a little closer to love, but and there, and then maybe even right here. And I'm gonna actually overlap this arrow with it. So I got some of the squigglies on the arrow. And maybe why not right there. Bring that back. Okay, and I'm gonna take another one that has kind of a linear look, a linear image. Maybe this kind of row of eyeballs. I haven't ever used that one. So the row of eyeballs would be appropriate if done vertically like that. There we go. And then maybe I'll do another one on this guy. And it's okay if it didn't stamp perfectly. At this stage of the game, nothing is going to stamp perfectly. Maybe they should go here next to that guy. And I'm just having too much fun. So I'm going to stop this, and now I'm going to go to my puffy stickers and little glass bead type things. Let me pull this here. I got to get my eyeballs back in the package. And I'm going to take these Amy Tangerine Bold and Brave puffy stickers. I thought I had already opened the package, and I'm going to pull the ones out that have the right colors. For example, this one with the gold heart. So let me put this kind of right there where that rough looking gear is around. This one is kind of an orangey color, and I can put it at the top of this little row of stuff. This has the right color red and a lightning bolt, and where's a place that I kind of in conjunction with some of my stamping. So I like this totally black and white one. And where should it go? It's a lot of black and white. I could put it right there. And here's that pink that doesn't really go with anything except that star. So I'm going to use it kind of down here, and we've got just a tiny little bit of pink in there. I'm going to stop that. I'm going to pull from this set this orange star, kind of right there, this yellow star, right there, this orangey heart, right there. This, it's kind of yellowy green. Here's an orange heart, right there. There's that, it's kind of a chartreuse that's the same color as the arrow in there. That was not intentional. As you can see, none of this is planned. Let's see, where do I want to put this? Maybe right there, and I can overlap a yellow star, kind of right in that same little area. Okay, now I think my finishing touch will be these little glass beads. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought I had 7, but I'll find one in the vacuum cleaner later. 1, and let me put that on because I'll forget where those dots are. I think I'll put, these are so hard to handle, but they add a lot of impact to the page. And I think I got these at a retreat. I'm going to put one down here, and I think I'll do a clear one. And I love them, but I don't use them very often, especially not on camera, because they're so hard to handle. I'm going to put one down here. And I hope this looks like it was inspired by Julie's layout. I think I might like this red one somewhere kind of around the photo, but there's not a good place. Gosh, let's see. You're probably saying quit while you're ahead, but I got these out. I'm committed to using them. So on they go. And I have this one last little red one. Where do I have? I'm still saying I need something right here. Oh, you know what? I'm going to layer it on top of the arrow. The arrow's layered on top of the flare. Why not layer this on top of the arrow? Okay. There we go. I think I'm done. I was maybe going to do some black splatters, but I think I'm not. Let me go kind of fix. I said I didn't mind if these guys curled up, but I actually do mind. I'd like to have them behaving a little better. And so I'm gonna add a touch of glue to the very end, especially that one that can kind of cross those gears. Oops, and they still don't want to behave. That'll eventually stick down. This one I think is okay. All right, so thank you for watching. It's kind of an explosion as Julie's is, and I'm happy with that. So see you next Friday for Mixed Media Frenzy. And this is a hop, so I will paste all of the ladies playing along with the hop in my video description, and be sure and check out all of their takes on this same amazing original by Julie Taylor. Thank you. Bye.